Okay, as we're moving along here in the centennial meeting process, let's go ahead and bring up I just want to share my screen here, and then we're going to bring up our little process here. Here we go. So what did we say? We talked about there are three general meetings. Explore is get to know someone. Enhance is all about, telling them what we do and kind of what it would cost specific to them. And then engage is how we do it. So in our last video, we talked about the explore uh, portion of the process where we talked about, hey, let's find out why they're here, what motivates them, why else are they here, what's their most important financial concern, MIFC. And we talk about how they're doing in the income tax and portfolio planning, which are our three core areas. Now, today, and then what we said, whoops, excuse me, and then what we said was, we said, hey, roughly two-thirds of people who you meet with for the first time should probably make it to the second meeting or the enhanced meeting. And about one-third, maybe they're not a fit. Maybe they don't, for whatever reason, money, attitude, what have you. And we politely help them and part as friends. So let's move on to our enhanced meeting, right? So our enhanced meeting is pretty easy. This is because we have a slide deck to go over with that enhanced meeting. And there will be a separate video on that, going over that slide deck, how you go about building the slide deck, all that kind of stuff. And, I don't know, I might no, I don't want to bring up that slide deck here because that would just probably make this video unnecessarily long. But let's just talk about what we're doing in this meeting. So first of all, remember that this is not a meeting where we tell them how to fix their problems. That's not what we're doing. We're not telling them how. This is really important. This meeting is all about what they could do, what they could accomplish if they were working with us. Okay, so what could be done if they were working with us? And second is identifying, before you worry about all the nitty-gritty details, we need to identify, hey, is this the type of planning that you're looking for? I mean, is this the planning that you want, that you desire? And we are going to cover, our three big areas. We're going to cover income, tax, and portfolio. Now, on the income section, we are going to be focusing on number one, what they said they wanted to spend in retirement. We got that from the first meeting. But then number two, how does that compare to what they could spend if they wanted to? So we're just trying to find out, number one, is their spending goal a reasonable goal? And number two, are they being, as we see a lot of times, wildly pessimistic on their spending goal? Maybe they could spend a whole lot more and live a lot bigger life. And I love talking to people about, hey, if you could live that bigger life, how would you spend that money? What would you do with it? Like, how does that make your retirement better? We want to get them excited about their retirement. So that's the income side. The tax side is usually pretty self descriptive. Most people we talk to can save a lot of tax. And if they're married, you want to make sure if they're married, make sure you don't go too fast over the spousal tax trap that a lot of families come across when one spouse dies. And on the portfolio side, what I'm really focusing there is on what rewards are you getting for the risk you're taking? First, are you taking reasonable risk? Second, are you getting paid to take that risk? Now, remember about this meeting. Everything about this meeting is focused on big picture. We talk about it at the beginning. At the beginning, we tell them, look, the purpose of this meeting is to identify where you're doing, where you're in good shape, like what are you doing well, and what areas might you want to work on next. And then we'll also share with you what's possible with your retirement planning. And if you want to work with us, just ballpark what kind of price points we're talking about. Now, this is also a really good meeting to just kind of start bringing up a little bit about expectations, right? We always at the beginning of each meeting want to set expectations, but in this one, we might be saying something along the lines of, look, the purpose of this meeting is big picture. Let's find out what we can do for you. Let's find out if it's something you even want before we worry about details. And let's talk a little bit about ballpark, what kind of what we would charge. Once you get that out of the way, then the next step is simply to kind of follow the PowerPoint, right? Just follow the slides, the slide deck. It makes it real easy. But it's also okay at the beginning to say, look, the other thing is what we find is about 80% of the people we talk to, by the time we're done with this meeting, they pretty much know whether or not they feel comfortable working with us. And 20% of the time, they kind of need another meeting to iron out questions, details, that type of thing. Look, whichever camp you fall in is fine with us. But at the end, I'm just going to ask you kind of where you are with your thinking. And we can either, at the end of this meeting, if it looks like we should move forward, we can do that. On the other hand, if another meeting might be helpful, we can schedule that. Is that fair enough? And I'll let you tell me which approach you think makes sense. This is a good thing to do at the beginning of the meeting because you're setting what's the action step going to be at the end of the meeting. It's either one, they decide they're going to work with us, or two, we're going to move to that third meeting. Either one is moving in a positive direction. All right, so this is really important. Okay, I don't think I want to talk any more about this meeting. It's pretty straightforward. The PowerPoint deck, it's not really a PowerPoint deck, it's a Google slide deck. Makes it super easy. I'll do a separate video on that. And there you go. That's it. We're just saying big picture. Here's what we can do. Here's how much it's going to cost. Do you want that help or not? And are you the kind of person who, do you need all the details in another meeting? Or are you just more the kind of person who says, okay, that's great. That's what I want. What do we need to do next to get this fixed? All right. All right, gang. That's it for this video, I think. Yeah. And in our next video, we'll talk about our engagement meeting.